I'm sure we all know the story of Icarus, the infamous idiot who let his pride control him, which led to him flying into the sun. That story is now basically linked with the idea of pride leading to a fall. However, there's a Japanese myth that explains this idea just as well, and it is known as how a man was bewitched and had his head shaved by foxes. I swear that the story is better than
In one of the many villages in ancient Japan, there's a sick-ass wealthy family. This myth starts with them having a party, and then they suddenly start talking about foxes, when a hot-headed and stubborn protagonist emerges from the shadows, whose name is Takeo, and shouts, "Well, some of you idiots say that foxes trick humans. Only idiots possessed by these stupid creatures would say such." Then the person next to him goes, "Dude, you know next to nothing out of the world. There are nearly 10 to 30 peeps who have been tricked by foxes in our village itself. Hard to believe what you're saying when it happens in front of our eyes." Instead of listening to the other guy, he goes, "You're a pack of idiots. I'm going to show you how stupid you are, by proving that no fox could ever make a fool out of me." This naturally makes everyone in the party pissed, and they go, "Fine, Dippy. If you can prove this, then we'll hand out a ton of free fish and wine. But if you fail to do this, you have to do this for us." Naturally, Takeo accepts, and at night time he goes out. Soon afterwards, he sees a fox in some bamboo. Immediately, he thinks that the fox is trying to trick him, when suddenly he sees the daughter of the village chief, who is going to marry someone from another village. She chose to travel with him for a bit because they're both going the same way for a while. Our protagonist finds this weird because he starts thinking she's a fox trying to trick him, because that's the only rational explanation, obviously. So he tries to trick her instead by saying he should take her home while going behind her. Why? Because he thought it would be a good idea to see her ass. Not because of the weird way you're probably thinking, but to see if she has a foxtail. She doesn't, but that doesn't stop him from thinking she's a fox. Once they're at her home, everyone is happy to see her, but our protagonist has other plans. He goes to the head of the house and says, "This isn't your daughter, it's a fox trying to trick me." Naturally, the head doesn't believe him. Takeo, being a world-class idiot, decides he can prove he's not screwing BS by, I kid you not, fucking torturing and soon enough killing her, just to prove she isn't a fox. And when this plan fails, and she turns out not to be a fox, the family turns on him and gets pissed off and plans to kill him too, obviously. Suddenly a priest shows up and says, "Yo, can I stay the night?" And they tell him they can't accommodate him tonight because of the tragedy. And once they tell him the story, he's both shocked and horrified to hear about the tragedy, and also he's shocked and horrified to hear about Hero's extravagant stupidity. Then in the corner of the room, he sees Takeo, who, upon seeing him, tearfully asks the priest to save him. The priest says he'll do it if Takeo becomes a priest and shaves his head. Now Takeo, being a massive opportunist, takes the massively convenient opportunity that only fairy tales and myths can muster up. The priest goes to the family and says, "Look, I may be a weird and stupid old man, but please don't kill the boy, yo. Despite how stupid and reckless his plan was, he was just trying to save y'all, yo. Please don't kill him. It won't bring your daughter back, yo. And let me shave this Dippy's head and let him join the priest, yo." The family agree, and Takeo is shaved on the spot and is immediately turned into a priest. After this, the lad is given some time to think for himself, where he realizes to his great annoyance he's been tricked by those damn foxes. He goes back to the party, which is still going on for some reason, and then when they ask him about his night, he shamefully tells them the tale. They laugh and mock him. After this, he's forced to live out the rest of his remaining days as a hairless priest. So ends the tale of Takeo, a myth that only hammers in the idea that pride leads to a fall. But I feel there's an even more important lesson to be learned from this story. A lesson that, if learned, can save you from much hardship. Don't fucking ever murder a person just cause you think they may be a fox.